Smoke filling the sky in the Gaza Strip after Israel launches a barrage of rockets into the region. Explosions and black smoke can be seen across the skyline as Israel continues to retaliate against Hamas for Saturday's surprise attack that has left so many dead on both sides. Good morning, Robin.
I'm Robin Murdoch outside the Inkster Police Department where the search is on for the suspect police say shot his own girlfriend in the neck. He should be considered armed and dangerous. How the victim is doing right now, that's straight ahead.
It's a sign of the times. A little bit of snow beginning to develop here on Sky Tracker radar. Not expected to impact us, but some showers could in the next 24 hours. I'll let you know when.
Working for you. Fox 2 News Live at 11 starts now.
Good morning, and thanks for being with us on this Monday. I'm Amy Lange.
I'm Brandon Hudson. We want to begin with a story that has the entire world talking, including leaders and communities here in Michigan. Fox News is following several new developments as Israel declares war. Following that surprise attack by Hamas, there's been a fresh wave of rocket attacks overnight.
And now at least 1,100 people have been killed, with thousands more hurt in the fighting. Fox News is reporting at least 9 Americans are among those who have been killed. Fox's Trey Yingst with a closer look.
People ran to take cover as air raid sirens were heard in Jerusalem on Monday. This during the third day of fighting between Israel and Gaza's Hamas militants. Hezbollah is now reportedly threatening the U.S. if it gets involved. A spokesperson telling the Times of Israel, quote, Palestine is not Ukraine. If the U.S. intervenes directly, all U.S. positions in the region will become legitimate targets of the resistance axis and face our attacks. And on that day, there will be no red line. Israeli media reporting hundreds of Israelis have been killed since Hamas began their attacks. The combined death toll in Israel and Gaza has now surpassed more than 1,200 people, including several Americans. There are thousands more wounded and more than 100 Israelis kidnapped behind enemy lines.
I have some people here that told me this morning that's the largest number of Israelis, Jews killed in one day since the Holocaust. I mean, the scope of this is something different.
Despite Israel's retaliation, Hamas is still attacking. The militant group firing a wave of rocket strikes into Israel.
People are crying, and we had to find shelter in less than 20 seconds. And this is the way we have to protect ourselves.
Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reports Iran was directly involved. The paper says Tehran worked with Hamas for weeks to plan the attacks. Behind me, Israeli troops and tanks preparing to be sent into Gaza. In southern Israel, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Dearborn Mayor Abdel Hammoud condemns the attacks in Israel, but also calls out other leaders, elected leaders, who are calling for peace. Now, in an Instagram post over the weekend, Hammoud said in part, quote, I condemn the killing of all innocent civilians, no matter their background. Ending this violence requires ending the occupation. Peace and permanent occupation and apartheid cannot exist. I urge global leaders to work towards a just and lasting solution that upholds the dignity, rights, and aspirations of all people.
And meantime, Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens is weighing in on the conflict. She was recently in Israel and sat down with Fox 2 to discuss the political backdrop of the unfolding war, brokering peace, and what negotiations might look like.
This is now a terrorist regime to the likes of ISIS, and that needs to be reckoned with in terms of how we deal with other terrorist operations. It has to come down to putting down the weapons for Hamas, getting the weapons out of their hands, and I don't know if they are going to be reasoned with.
And we'll have much more on the war with Fox's Doug Luzader. That is going to be coming up in our next half hour.
In conflict that is closer to home, police in Inkster are searching for a man who investigators say shot his girlfriend in the neck.
And this morning, we're learning new details about the victim's condition as the manhunt continues. Here's Fox 2's Robin Murdoch with the latest.
The search continues this morning for the suspect who police say shot his own girlfriend in the neck. The 29-year-old victim's condition is improving. She was originally in critical condition. She's now been upgraded to serious condition. Police obviously want to get the suspect who put her in the hospital in custody as quickly as possible. Now, this all happened right around 9:45 on Saturday night, and this was in the 400 block of Biltmore, which is close to Cherry Hill and John Daly here in Inkster. When police first arrived at that location, they thought the 37-year-old Andre Williams Jr. might still be inside the house, so they asked neighbors to stay indoors for the time being. Investigators soon learned that the 37-year-old suspect had fled that scene and was actually on the run. Again, police believe he got into some kind of an argument with his 29-year-old girlfriend, and that is when he pulled out a handgun and shot her in the neck. Her condition thankfully improving this morning while that manhunt does continue. Take a listen to Inkster's chief of police.
When something like this occurs, people start talking. They've had enough of the violence. They've had enough of this type of behavior, this type of actions. They're tired of it. This city is tired of the violence. As I say before, if you'll shoot friends or family, you'll shoot anybody. And so I want the public to be very careful. If they see this individual, contact police.
Andre Williams Jr. is described as being about 6 foot 2 inches tall. It's believed he weighs anywhere between 180 pounds to 200 pounds. And as the chief says, if you do happen to see him, do not approach him. Instead, call police right away. You can also call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Reporting from Inkster, I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
And now the latest on the UAW strike, which is now in its 25th day.
More union members are joining the picket lines, but these are not Big Three workers. They're instead employees at Mack truck plants. They rejected a contract offer by the company over the weekend and walked off the job a short time ago. This affects 3 truck plants in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Florida.
As for negotiations, it is not clear if there has been much movement over the weekend with the Big Three, but we are seeing the strike's ripple effect on suppliers. The work stoppage is causing a major drop in the demand for steel. One company, Cleveland Cliffs, is implementing a $750 per ton minimum charge in an effort to halt the skid. Financial services company Standard & Poor's says the strike has sidelined production of 6,030 vehicles every day.
The weekend was actually pretty nice. I mean, it was chilly for sure, and the wind was pretty strong. We did have a few sprinkles on Saturday, but Sunday, plenty of sunshine. We got kind of lucky that most of the cloud cover was in mid-Michigan and north, so where that low was situated, it looked like maybe initially we'd see those clouds down to the south, but then when it actually set up, most of those clouds were kind of hanging out right around there, which is where they still really are today in areas north. So northern Michigan still dealing with some showers. We may see some sprinkles as we move overnight tonight and into Tuesday, but overall, it looks like the first part of the week is the drier part. The second part of the week, we're going to see that low pressure that's off to the north finally exit, and a new weather system and a new weather pattern is going to move in, and this pattern does look like it'll be a little bit more damp. That'll take us through Thursday and Friday, possibly even the weekend as well. We could see a little bit of rain. Temperatures mid-50s today. I'm going to go about 54 degrees, so staying on the cool side, and we're going to keep it that way today through tomorrow. The wind still lingers. We're talking 10, 20 miles an hour out there today, maybe 15 miles an hour tomorrow. Drier through the middle of the week before the rain returns again late in the work week through the weekend. We'll show you that 7-day forecast coming up in about 20 minutes. Brandon.